So we're going to be looking a little bit at some more trends. This is really thinking about city development, about infrastructure. So hopefully touching on those really big themes, but with some concrete and tangible ideas and suggestions from our panelists as to how we can all embrace some of these trends that they're seeing. So let's start quick and punchy because, I know you've got to fly away in a moment, Susan, so we've got to make the most of you being here. But in one sentence, what's the biggest urban shift that you are seeing right now that perhaps is something that's here to stay, that's not just a fad, it's not just a passing trend, but it's here to stay? A big urban shift, Youssef, what are you seeing?
First of all, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Quality of life and lifestyle.
Say it again?
Quality of life and lifestyle.
Okay, so the quality of life and lifestyle piece, amazing. Susan?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, that people are no longer just buying homes. Yeah. They're buying livability. Integrated living has become the new benchmark for residential success in Saudi.
Love that, and we'll talk about that idea of integration. I really enjoy that. And Mohammed?
Yeah, people would like to...
Can you go a little bit closer for me, lovely?
Sorry?
Just pop it, pull it, that's it.
People actually would like to live in a place where they can feel as a human and feel free and improve their life, quality of life.
Okay, so that human sense of community and belonging. It is definitely a theme we're starting to see emerge over this conference. And Susan, as a trend, you obviously look across markets, you have a global perspective. Is this international? Is this a specific GCC, a specific KSA thing? Is it something that is simply just going to be a non-negotiable wherever you go in the world?
Yes, I definitely think it's becoming the non-negotiable. People want to have, walkable communities. They would like to have easy access to parks, to sports, entertainment, retail, F&B, anything within, we call it a walkable city. So I don't think this is just for Saudi Arabia. I think this is something that's been becoming the norm and the benchmark worldwide. I think it's just that Saudi Arabia is adapting it much quicker, and given all the giga projects and the mega projects that we're seeing being developed as we speak, will become the new norm.
Mohammed, does that echo what you're seeing from your clients and your research? Is this something which is localized, or is it really a global trend?
I do believe it's a global trend, actually, and started in foreign or in Western country, and we can see it now in GCC and across Arab country.
Yeah. Because you obviously come with a financial perspective, Youssef, from a bank. People are, finding capital and investing money in things. Is that changing? Are people investing differently? Are they buying differently because of their requirements?
Just want to clarify one point. Coldwell Banker is a real estate service company.
I know.
Banker is a family name. And
But the investment of finances that you're seeing people make.
But at the same time, it is the same. I just want to clarify one thing. The difference in this, in the last decades and in the future, people access to information from their mobile, so they can compare. And whenever you see like the local, regional, or global trend, that's why people will not accept any low quality or low service, because they can easily compare.
Yeah.
This is the point. So yes, it's a global trend actually.
It's really interesting. And is there anything else that you're seeing? Because you all speak to multiple clients, both B2B, B2C, I believe. Mm-hmm. You're all looking at kind of brokerage services, consultancy services. Are there things that you are surprised by that have been coming up over the last maybe 12 months in terms of the demands, the requests that you're getting? Youssef, is that something that you're seeing shift?
Yeah, if you want to discuss about the request for Saudi Arabia, there are two types of requests. Something related to Mecca and Medina, which is totally different. It's a global request from 1.5 billion Muslims all around the world. And there are two types of requests. One is B2C, related to acquiring a partner or something. And the other one is from institutions, funds from mainly Asia, UK are looking for to invest in the hospitality sector. In Riyadh is different. We see like people are interested in Riyadh because they are comparing what's happening in the region in the last 20 years, for example, Dubai, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, all those, and they want to catch the opportunity before it's too late. That's why they are interested to invest in Riyadh, either in residential, mixed use, individual institutions. That's what we see in the market, yes.
That's really interesting. And I mean, this is obviously something that we can talk about locally, but also generally. And Susan, as a global reference point, what can we learn from what other cities are doing to enable that supply meets the demand that's coming your way?
I think from a supply perspective, what we're seeing is that, for example, the pressure on Riyadh's growth is getting pressure on the traditional low-density models and moving towards a broader mix. So now we're looking into more townhouses, building apartments, and actually we have the data that back that up. In terms of market performance, our latest figures show that there's a clear adjustment. Residential transactions fell 55% year on year.
Can you just say that again? Because that's a
Yes.
huge stat, and I don't know if we lost that. 55%
Yes.
reduction?
Yes, and let me add one thing. Residential transaction values fell 48% year on year. So this is something that we really need to take in, and which reinforces that affordability and community living design is more important today more than ever.
So let's talk a bit about that. Let's talk about this idea of livability and what that really means in practice, because it has become a little bit of a buzzword, but it also has some really clear elements and foundations. Mohanad, from your perspective, how do we make livability practical in a way that developers, city builders can implement from the design phase, and that it's not just ticking a box, as it were?
Yeah. Actually, this is very, very crucial because, developers are financially capital return oriented people, and when they think about livability is something really need to be visible. So at the same time, they can still create innovative ideas where they can change the philosophy of urbanization, and as example for shifting or transitioning from car-centric urban landscape to a human livable and environment, actually. Green area, landscaping, amenities for sports, a green building, a smart building. They can reduce, as example, the emission, the carbon emission. There's a lot of things they can create in their design phase, but also the economic factor should exist. But I don't think there is a problem because I see the people shifting and these urbans or development attracting people rapidly.
Susan, are there any downsides to not doing it? I mean...
Yes, definitely, because we're seeing that those communities that are taking into consideration the infrastructure and the community experience from the beginning, they have more higher absorption and more resilient pricing. So definitely this is a risk that developers should consider when planning these communities. So just to add to what Mohammed said, in our view, livability is developing communities that consider, what are the walking distance to retail and healthcare, education. So it's all of them being developed together from the planning stages, and not just sitting next to each other.
Okay. And from your perspective at Coldwell Banker, are you seeing there's a discrepancy, Youssef, between what a developer's objectives are, what they want, what a potential resident or tenant's perspective is, what an owner's desires and needs are? Are there discrepancies across those groups?
I think now the, let's say, local real estate developers understand more about the market needs
Yeah.
in terms of how the market is changing regarding the infrastructures, transportation, healthcare, whatever, all type of things. And the most important is now, if you want to see what the local real estate developers are doing, they are in very strong competition with the government, because PIF is developing high quality community projects. So in the future, in order to compete with this type of project, you should understand you need to provide the best quality or solution or whatever. Otherwise, it will be the same situation today. For example, today, people are looking for prime offices, grade.
Yes.
And so what will happen for the previous quality? They will be out of the market. So in the future, if you want to have market share, you should understand the market need and apply exactly, and be in this very competitive market in the let's say upcoming future, I think, in my point of view.
Yeah, so this private-public thing. Susan,
Yeah, it's a
but-
competition.
Yeah, absolutely, between both.
If I may add, what developers really need to look at, and where we've seen the discrepancies between the supply and the demand
Yes.
is first the unit sizes, and then the unit layout, what's within the layout. So a maid's room, for example, is very important here, having a driver's loom. But then also what's becoming a non-negotiable is the amenities. So having a gym and a pool and maybe a tennis court or any of these amenities, even within apartment buildings,
Yes.
it's becoming a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Although people are shifting their demands from the demand for villas, and they're more now accepting the apartment living, but they're still looking into having those amenities within their apartment buildings.
Do you think, Mohammed, that people are prioritizing this well enough? I mean, you wanted to add something anyway, but do you think people are, the developers and the people who are creating these new homes and these new developments with the shared amenities, do you think they're doing it fast enough? Do you think it's a big enough concern?
Yeah, actually, nowadays it is different from last few years, because when the government took the initiative to start making the development, it was only for taking the initiative and increasing or creating interest for the private sector and just give guidance. Nowadays, we heard from the government they are not going to be a competitor for the private sector, and they will leave the private sector to whatever they think is the right. So I think in the coming years will create momentum in amazing development created by the private sector. Yes.
So is that where you'd encourage people to look first, that sense of quality and competition?
Exactly. And you see, we have analyzed the market for the last 4 or 5 years, and we see the trends going to really be more modern houses, and but small, not big, small with modern design and with a community where you can access the amenities, where you can access the sports amenities, where you can find short distance for schools. And I think Riyadh, if I think about Riyadh, you cannot take it as one big city and create urban, but you can cut it into area or zone and make sure within these zones everything is available. After that, you will have independent zone within the big city of Riyadh.
So we're really putting ourselves in the shoes of the people who are going to use, enjoy, live in, experience these places. Let's talk about confidence, because it's so important in a growing and a shifting market that we can be confident, because then that does create the demand as well and the attraction of these, new potential residents, people who want to invest perhaps from the international market now. Susan, how do we develop that confidence? How do we show that these shifts are real, that we're going to do what we say we're going to do, that it's going to work?
I think the major criteria for that is having the laws to back it up. So as long as the international investor sees that we've developed the laws that would protect those investors, or even the international buyers that are coming in, either buying in Jeddah because they want to be closer to Riyadh and Mecca and Medina, or even buying in Riyadh as an investment, they need to feel confident that if anything goes wrong with the developer, they'll get their money back. So I think once and we're getting the law announced soon, which covers all
the geographies,
all the geographies and all of that. But I think this is one of the main most important aspects of this. The second thing I would say for the developers to really deliver according to their promises. So I think back in the day, if we go 20 years back, a lot of the investors got bitten by what happened in Dubai, and I think this is where it's a lesson learned for us to make sure that our developers are developing and delivering on time and with the quality that they promised and everything.
Amazing. So there's some things that are maybe out of our hands and out of our control, but that we maybe need to keep pushing. And perhaps things that are in our control. You said from a broker's perspective, are there things that brokers can be doing to build trust? I mean, the developers have their part to play, but you're sitting here running a company that effectively acts as a bit of an intermediary. So how are you creating that trust?
I think the most important things for any international investors is the demand. The good things about the market, the majority of the demand is local demand. So it's not going to be changed later for any situation, because it's local demand at the end. So the risk is less than other countries of big international demand. So this is very important. That's for Riyadh and other cities. The exception market is Mecca and Medina, because it's a global demand, because of something different, it's something related to religion, spiritual. But in terms of that's number one. And the other things, how we can encourage investors and for the market, most of the big projects, if they want to come and invest in giga projects, it's developed and supported by government. It's not private sector, and the government they have strong economy, the largest oil producer. So so this is two things very important: demand, and if they want to invest in the giga projects, either as an individual or institutions, this is something supported by government, not by private sector.
Okay. And Mohammed, I'm going to come to you with a slightly different slant on the question, because you've spoken about sort of cost effectiveness, economies of scale, things like that. As principles, do those things help to create confidence, or do they also create pitfalls and potential traps?
Actually, this it's two-side effect. One of them is the positive side, and I think you talk about density. Density, it could be good in some term, but it could be bad in other side. If we have good urban design and with efficient infrastructure, and with good economic productivity and with sustainability of the development, this is the good side in density. It will give you the economic productivity, it give you the sustainability, it give you the infrastructure efficiency as well.
Absolutely.
Because you can with the scale, economy of scale, economy of scope, you can build something and serve many and huge and volume, big volume of people. But at the same time, if you deal with the density as simple number, just plugging it into formula without taking into consideration other needs, it will be messy and it will create a problem in infrastructure, in sustainability and everything. So you need to be careful.
I think you raise a very interesting point there, because you can have the best urban design in the world, incredible vision of something, but if the infrastructure doesn't back it up, then we've got a problem. So how do we keep those two things kind of at pace with each other so that one supports the other and one doesn't overtake the other? I mean, Susan, you're nodding. Do you have a thought about that? I mean, I wish there was a magic wand, because I think we'd all want it.
Exactly. I wish there was a magic wand, but I think that the question is, I mean, the answer is, as you said, it has to go hand in hand. So we cannot be planning communities and all of these magnificent projects, but without looking into the infrastructure and the requirements. And as I mentioned earlier, it's the infrastructure and also the consumer experience within the city or within the community. So it is something that the government and the private sector needs to work together to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely, because of all of these projects obviously competing for local and international capital. And Yusuf, I think you've got some quite interesting perspectives about how projects need to better compete for that international capital outside of perhaps just the standard marketing budget. So what's your perspective about how to kind of create an ecosystem using intermediaries, brokerage as part of that confidence building, as part of that attraction, as part of that awareness? Talk to us about that, because I think it's a really important point.
Yes, to promote the country, the projects globally. I think the most important now, especially after like the new law of allowing foreigners to own property in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Medina, or other cities, I think for the local real estate developers, even for the PIF and Giga projects, it's not about only marketing budget to spend all around the world. It's branding. This is branding in terms of promoting the country, promoting the projects. But to do transaction, to sell your property internationally, you need to deal with the international agencies. You need to have, because what's the difference between the local sales or the traditional sales team comparing to the international? If you are like a real estate developer and you have whatever 5 years, 10 years, whatever in experience, you have very limited access to the global market, because your clients are local, you are promoting to local, you're delivering, and you build this reputation to local. While when you are working with international brokerage firm, and for example, let's say all of them, they have more than 100,000 agents globally located in most of the big countries, and the broker internationally is a consultant, is helping the client, and most of those consultants, they have list of investors and buyers, and they have built already this credibility in the last 20, 30 years, whatever. So instead of trying to spending high marketing budget globally to attract those investors, simply you can deal with those international agents all around the world. They have already leads, they have already investors, they have already the credibility, and they will convince the investor as an investment opportunity, because what you are doing, you provide the whole data, either about your project, about the market. For example, I just mentioned in terms of why they want to come to Saudi, they will explain high demand because of Saudi, because supported by government. This is something the broker can explain as a consultant. And the traditional sales team, it will be very, very difficult, because you spend too much on the marketing, and sometimes the return on investment, you cannot guarantee the return on investment. This is very important.
Interesting, interesting,
Can I just add one more thing? I think when, talking to just my colleagues internationally, when they talk to their clients, what they like about Saudi and the projects that we're developing is that we are, we're making it authentic and keeping the culture and not trying to change anything about what Saudi is all about. So even the different regions are maintaining their cultures. So the Najdi, the Hijazi, the Asiri, so that is really being reflected well. And I think as long as we continue to maintain that, I think we'll be, hopefully an international market for those investors.
I think it's a critical point, not losing heart and soul of a place, even with the need and the requirement for development.
Exactly. So just balancing that mix of what these international investors are looking for with the authenticity of keeping, I think will be very, very important.
Yeah. Mohammed, I think you wanted to add something to Yusuf's point as well.
Just adding to Suzanne and Yusuf, we are in the company where Keller Williams is, I'm not intending here to do marketing to the company, but they are very well known. Over the world, they have 64 regions, and we have 200,000 exclusive agents. We started talking to them, and we have launched a campaign last week to change the mindset of the broker in Saudi Arabia. And we said we are going to create the full-time committed broker, exclusive, and it's not anymore hobbies. It's only for the full-time committed broker. We are recruiting now. We give him bridge 6 months salary. It's not salary, it's support. It's look like a bridge, just to convince him not to go to another job, to start with us. Just to try it. We will put him in big training because we have the biggest opportunity here. We have 200,000 agents around the world. They are waiting us to communicate the development in Saudi Arabia and the property. And when we start talking about the size or the volume of the real estate in Saudi Arabia, it's 1 trillion. It's exceeding 1 trillion last year. And with the new regulation about wasata and the brokerage, it does mean 50 billion Saudi Riyal commission. 50 billion Saudi Riyal commission, it does mean big things. And it compete, the lawyers compete, the engineer, doctor, engineer, any other job. So we encouraging the people, the young Saudi, to come and be full-time broker, and he will be a millionaire real estate agent.
Where do I sign up, right?
Anytime, immediately.
Amazing.
We launch it and we start getting...
Let's just close off this brilliant discussion with, I guess, a final thought about something that's maybe the biggest trend or the most important thing for everyone to have top of mind in their projects, their developments, their future work. What's that one thing, Yusuf? What should everybody be thinking? Come on, this is non-negotiable. We've got to make sure this is front and center.
Quality, and I think the quality is the most important.
Quality, and a bit more quality then.
Yeah, quality of life, quality of the project, quality, and at the end, you want to compete with the global market, with other cities, with other countries. So quality, and one of the panelists mentioned, you should think long term.
Yeah, I like that.
So this is very, I like it.
Too.
You should think long term, because as you are not building a small community, you are building, you are as a developer, you are part of building a country. And country is for the all upcoming generation, so you should think long term.
I love that as a reframe as well. You're not just building this particular developmental building, you are building a country. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Susan, top of mind?
In addition to quality of life, I would say affordability.
Okay.
I think this is very important for all developers to keep in mind, because this is where the market is, given we
didn't really have a chance to get to it. I think there was a lot we could have said about affordability.
Pressures, rising land values, changing household structure is putting a lot of pressure on affordability. So
it's great. It's great to have awareness of. Thank you. And for you, Mohammed?
I think I'm going back to the marketing and sales.
Yeah.
Broker and the people in charge, they should talk very good about the opportunity they have it in Saudi Arabia, and they have to exchange it with the international investors and international buyer. Honestly speaking, they have to be educated, be trained well, to be professional broker and talking very professional language about real estate in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, there is no big difference. There is no at all differences between what we see it here. It's in the other way. I really see it more positive, but they have to talk about it. They have to talk to the agent around the world. They don't need to talk about the investor. They need to talk about Saudi investment opportunity with the fund, with the banks outside the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So let's all play our part in getting the word out there, be our own little marketing agents for the country and for the projects that we're all involved with. Thank you so much, Youssef, Susan, Mohamed. It's been an absolute delight to speak with you. I know that they're around, hopefully tomorrow as well. Are you around tomorrow, some of you? Yes. So grab them if you want to have deeper conversations, because they have so much perspective on this market and a lot of insight from both sides of the development, investment, and also obviously the end users. So please make the most of having them here with us at RFF. A big round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Youssef. Thank you so much. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mohamed. I really appreciate it.